Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity Orlando. Our opening statement this morning is, I am a child of God and I live in the kingdom of health and abundance. Let's all affirm that together. I am a child of God and I live in the kingdom of health and abundance. All right, let's all close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in, and let's affirm that together in the silence. And so it is. And now if you'd like to join us, please stand and we'll sing our joy song this morning. It is Feel the Rise of Spirit. Fly with their wings spread over skies and kingdoms set. Many wise and able men feel the rise of spirit, shining eyes of jubilee, joyful cries and some believe, future wise and glory be. Of spirit, wisdom flies through children's eyes. Feel the rise of spirit. Glory, heaven be true in me, heavenly. Wings in our lives, a song it sings, whisper wise many things. Feel the rise of spirit, beat a drum if it's fun. Wake up now, it's just begun. Feel the world awaken as one. Feel the rise of spirit, wisdom flies through angels' eyes. Feel the rise of spirit. Glory, heaven be true in me, heavenly. Of spirit, feel the rise of spirit, feel the rise of spirit, feel the rise of spirit. Nice. You may be seated. Thank you.
Good morning, Unity Orlando. How is everybody today? I'm Susan Francis. Welcome online. Do we have any visitors today? Are you guys? Oh, welcome. I thought so. So glad you could spend your Sunday with us. And for our family regulars, I'm so glad you're all here. I wanted to let you know, you probably know these by heart. The food drive continues. You can bring your non-perishable food items either Sunday morning or Tuesday between 10 and 3 o'clock. Or you can contact Curtis Coaxum, whose information is on our website, if you need a pickup or you need food. He's doing a great job with distribution. Thank you, Curtis. Also, reminder, Reverend Ronnie and I do a midweek prayer meditation on Facebook. The the first and third Wednesday of the month, so that means this Wednesday will be online. If you miss us, you don't have to watch it live. You can go to the replay on Facebook or on our website. The Unity Men's Group meets every Wednesday at 4 p.m. outside of Starbucks at Hal Branch in 436, and everyone's welcome, or gentlemen are welcome. And Mark is coordinating that. Also, Brian has Qigong every Sunday after second service if you'd like to join. Fantastic way to rise your spirit and your energy. Also, a reminder, Reverend Lulu's Zoom book class, it actually started last week. She has 2 of them. But for the stragglers, if you'd like to join us, it's not too late. The first book is The Sermon on the Mount by Edmund Fox, and it's on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. So it's not too late. If you'd like to contact her, she can give you the link. And then the second class started last Thursday. It's Richard Rohr's Falling Upward. And that class is only on Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. So if you'd like to join in, I'm sure you can catch up. Reverend Bob's lesson today is good signs. But, of course, I have to tell you one little story before I introduce Brian again for our next song. There was a little girl, she's 6 years old, her name was Angie, and she had a 4-year-old brother, Joel, and they were sitting together at church, and Joel was giggling and singing and talking out loud. So finally his big sister, Angie, had enough, and she said, "You're not supposed to talk out loud in church." And so Joel said, "Why? Who's going to stop me?" And Angie pointed to the back of the church. And she said, "See that guy back there? It's by the door. He's a husher." So, without further ado, we have Brian and the music department for the next song.
Thank you, Susan. You're always hard to follow. That's very nice. This is a special song. When I heard about the topic, I thought my ultimate observer within me said, "Play my song." And this is called "Here With You." Time and time again, never really reaching the end, sifting through the sand, here with you. Brick by brick and mortar stone, I feel my body from the ground is grown, living in the temple, here with you. Here I succeed in the grander plan. Here I can be a better man, as I am coexisting here with you. try to take the higher road. The path before me is still unknown. Trusting the higher realm here with you. The higher I go, the deeper you feel. Every expression becomes more real. Weaving a golden tapestry here with you. Here I succeed in the grander plan. Here I can be a better man as I am coexisting here with you. Here I succeed in the grander plan. Here I can be a better man as I am coexisting here with you. The higher I go, the deeper you feel. Every expression becomes more real. Weaving a golden tapestry here with you. Here I succeed in the grander plan. Here I can be a better man as I am coexisting here with you. Here I succeed in the grander plan. Here I can be a better man as I am coexisting here with you.
Ah, that's wonderful. That was haunting. I actually love that song. I really do love that song. Ah, how is everyone out there today? You doing well? How is everyone out there today? You better be there. We have a wonderful music department. I am extremely proud of them. Don't they do a wonderful job? I also want to praise one of our unsung heroes, our Unity Husher, Brian Smith at the back. And since I borrowed Susan's joke, I'm going to have to turn the attention back to her and say, I understand that 11 years ago today, I did the marriage of Susan and John over here. Yeah, Susan was our chairperson, and John's on that. Since you can't turn and look at them, I'm trying to remind you of who they are. Happy anniversary. And we find it intriguing. 11 years ago today, it was on a Sunday that I did it. And today it's on a Sunday again. How wonderful. It's a good sign. Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Good signs. Well, this morning, I'm going to start off by drawing from the Christmas story. You say, deja vu. Didn't we do that last week? Yeah, we did. Last week it was, oh, come let us adore him. But this week I'm going to draw from the actual scriptures that are the Christmas story. But I'm actually going to start off of Isaiah, where it was originally referenced that this would be a sign to humanity. Okay? Isaiah 7:14. The Lord himself shall give to you a sign. And behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son and call his name Emmanuel. Now here's the reflection of that was mentioned in Isaiah. In Luke, this is the birth of Jesus. Luke 2:11 through 12. These are the angels. They're in the sky talking to the shepherds. This day is born to you in the city of David a Savior who is Christ the Lord. And this is a sign for you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. Now, I would have thought a sky full of angels would have been enough of a sign. But in the end, they decided, okay, this is pretty unbelievable. We're saying that what you've waited for thousands of years is about to happen, is happening right now. So here's a sign to you. Spirit will give you a sign when you need it. You know, sometimes it's always better if we can just use our faith and go straight ahead. But sometimes when our faith starts to waver, we just need a sign that we're on the right track, or a sign that things are really going to work out, though it doesn't look like they're going to at the moment. And we're allowed to ask for a sign. A sign that God is with us. That's all we're really saying. My faith is starting to waver. Give me something to hang on to so that I can once again be clear. God is with me in this situation. Well, I'm going to talk about the sale of my house. My house is closed. This was a long and hard closing. This, and Mark Ramey, my real estate agent, I have to give him utter kudos for talking me through it and doing all the negotiating, taking care of everything. You got to understand. The first weekend we put it up for sale, first weekend in July, we got an offer. Very good offer, and we took it. We said, okay, we'll work with you, but they needed to have a loan. So now we've gone down, and he's gotten unhappy with all kinds of things on the property. I have a fixer-upper on 3 acres. And he had, I need this done and this done. I thought when I said as is, that meant that I didn't have to empty my sheds. He said, no, you need to clean your personal products off the property. I thought, oh, really? And as I've told you in the past, it was amazingly cathartic for me to do that, to clear out 27 years worth of stuff, including the little garden I put in that became an archaeological dig. As I started discovering things I hadn't seen in 15 years, under 6 inches of soil. But the important thing is that as we went through this came up. He wanted this. The buyer wanted this, wanted that, wanted the other. In the end, for him to get his loan, I had to make $30,000 worth of improvements to the property. Okay? And, of course, he was backed up with the fact that, to get the loan, I've got to do this. We'd originally said we're only going to accept cash, and maybe we should have stuck to that. But in any case, we did it, and Mark had prepared me for the fact that I might have these things I had to do, like the roof and the electricity. But in any case, here we are. We are 3 days away from the closing date on that contract. And the whole thing falls apart. Now, we've had such a tumultuous thing on the way through and had to extend the contract and this and that and the other, such that, anyway, he came to me and the offer came back 3 days before. He wanted a $30,000 more price reduction and then a whole laundry list of major things accomplished, all of which were going to be difficult. And I looked at it and I said, this guy's freaking out. He wants out. He wants out. And if this is his laundry list, he really shouldn't be on this property, you know? So, contrary to popular opinion, he's not my perfect buyer. He's not it. Now, I got to tell you, I got this feeling in the pit of my stomach when everything just washes out. It has been such a hard pull. We're 3 days short of the goal, and boom, the whole thing's fallen apart. I said to Mark, give him his money back. I just want the property back on the market as quickly as possible. I want my perfect buyer. I don't want his money. I want my buyer. And we put it up within hours. We had it back on. So I'm looking forward and I'm affirming that my perfect buyer is now out there and coming toward me, and this wasn't it, I guess. But my perfect buyer is still coming. But I got to tell you, I was really feeling a little bit deserted. Why didn't God make this go through? Why didn't this happen? Why are we having to start over? And so I kind of said to God, I said, are you still with me on this? Did I read all the signs wrong? Was I not supposed to sell the property? What's going on? You know, are you still with me on this? Well, you're asking for a sign, aren't you? At least I was. I got to feel you're still with me. Show me something. What is intriguing is that very afternoon, after we put it back on the market, and I said, come on, God, are you still with me? My ex-wife calls. Now, she had called the day before because I had urged her and said, you know, you're so concerned about the repairs you eventually are going to have to do on your rental. Why don't you sell it now in this market? And she had said, okay, I'm going to. And the day before, she called me to tell me, Karen called to tell me how the current renter had trashed the house. Now, we hear that, but it had no interior doors anymore. The windows were broken, and there was not a working light fixture. I mean, all the light fixtures were broken in the house. Yeah, it had been trashed. Okay, and when her real estate agent went through, it was like, you know, the look on her face, which is phenomenal. And so I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. Okay. And she at that time was asking me, you're clearing off the property. Have you got any extra light fixtures? Do you have anything? We had all kinds of stuff stored around there, but by then most of it was gone. I'd cleared everything. And today, though, after I had lost my contract and I was saying, God, are you still with me? Karen calls and says, in spite of everything, I've got a buyer. I got a buyer for my property. And I'm thinking, that's right. I lost my contract today. And Karen called me to tell me she's got a buyer. You know, my first thought was, why she got a buyer and I don't? And I'd dismissed that one immediately. I said, that's not what's going on here. If her house has a buyer, surely my buyer is still coming. That's great. I love this. So I wanted her to prosper anyway. So I'm sitting there and thinking, okay, great, good. And this is my sign. There's still a buyer out there for me. And later that night, just before I went to sleep, I did something that I do all the time, and that is I played several games of solitaire on the computer, you know. And I won the first one, and then I won the second one, then I won the third one, and I won the fourth one. Now I'm starting to notice something weird is going on. And so I kept going to see how long this would last. And at the end of 7 or 8 games, I quit, having won every single game. Anyone who's played solitaire knows that doesn't happen. You lose half, you win half. Or something like that. And I went, oh my God, this has never happened before. But when I ask God, are you still with me? I win every game. Yeah. That feeling dissipated. I was able to go, hey, God is still responding. So we're okay. Things are going to work out. And you ask, how did it end? Well, the next couple of days, we had 7 or 8 showings. And Saturday morning, Mark calls me and says, you know, something really weird has happened. He said, the real estate agent for the original buyer has called me. He started off by thanking us for our patience and da-da-da-da-da-da, and then said, my buyer said he just freaked out and he really wants to buy the property, and he'll put through at exactly what the original arrangement was. This guy kept trying to change it all the way through. So I went, whoa, okay. And I wasn't feeling good about him at that point, but I was saying, okay, I agreed to do this. I will do what I agreed to do. No more. He played nice from that point on. And we closed the middle of October. We were waiting on a roof that had to be finished before it could be closed. Now, I needed to know God was still with me. I asked for some sort of a sign. Just show me you're still with me. And I had 2 very distinct things happen that to me were very clear signs that everything was going to work out. Remember, I said sometimes we just need a sign that we're on the right track, that things are going to work out. Well, in Isaiah 7:11, he writes, ask for yourself a sign of the Lord your God. Do something so you can get very clear in your faith. God is still with me. In Psalm 86:17, show me a sign of thy favor, that the Lord is with me. That's all we're really asking. We just need to know God's still with me on this. Yes, I'm going to have to walk the walk. Yes, I'm going to have to go through whatever it is that I've got to go through. But I know God's with me on it. That's all I need to know. In 2 Chronicles 32:24, Hezekiah became mortally ill. That's one of the kings of the Old Testament. And he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord spoke to him and gave him a sign. Something to hang on to. And of course, things got better. And 1 Samuel 10:7, Samuel writes, when these signs are come to you, you shall know the Lord is with you. Which is really what it's all about. How many of you remember the books E Squared and E Cubed? They were very popular a few years ago. We did a whole class on them. I rather liked them because what they did is they had you go through experiments to prove to yourself that God, the universe, was responding to you. So, the first experiment went like this. Ask for some blessing in the next 2 days. Anything, you are not going to determine what it is, but something is going to happen to show me that God is there. Something unusual, some special blessing, something that doesn't happen all the time. Next week, everybody came back. It was amazing. Everybody had some result. And sometimes they were real subtle little things, and sometimes they were dramatic. But they found something that said to them, wow, I got a response. That was downright amazing. So we went to number 2, and it was like, now you're going to concentrate on something in particular that is rare and ask that it happen. Ask that you see it sometime in the next 2 days. Says, ask to see a rare car color or a butterfly or a dragonfly or whatever to prove that God is responding, that the universe is responding to you. Just see it. And once again, the stories were amazing. When you ask, something happened. Spoke to Brian this week. He told me his story. His was that he said, okay, I want to see a butterfly. And he hadn't seen a butterfly the whole time. He's nearing the end of his time length, and he's going to be inside because he's got a massage to do, and he's thinking, okay, I guess it didn't work. And he goes to work on this one woman's back, and there's a nice butterfly tattoo right there. He went, oh, it did work. I spoke to someone else who wanted to see a yellow car, and they hadn't seen one the whole time. They're driving down the highway, complaining to the person in the passenger seat, this didn't work. I haven't seen a yellow car the whole time. And all of a sudden, like 15 yellow school buses passes. They went, oh, just as I said that. And someone else. They weren't working with the time limit like this was, but they said, I need a sign that something's going, that God is responding to me. And they said, okay, what I want to see is an eagle, close up. I don't want it far away where it might be an osprey, but I think it's an eagle. I want it close up. And when her sign finally came through, and she had a couple of them come through that day, she was driving through a tropical storm, and an eagle was caught in the wind in front of her, fighting the wind, trying to get through it, 20 foot away from her windshield. She said, we locked eyes. Now that's a sign. That's amazing. When your faith begins to falter, look for good signs that God is with you. They're good signs because it's a sign that God is with me. That's all you need. You just need to know you're still on the right path, that God is still working with you through whatever it is that you're facing. So how do you find a sign? A sign that God is still with you, a sign that things are going to work out, or a sign that your prayers will be answered. First you ask. ask for a sign, and then look, expecting to find one. As long as you're looking for it, something will appear. These are those experiments from Pam Grout. The universe will respond. You'll be looking and saying, show me a sign that something's going on, and all of a sudden, something you look at will congeal, and you'll say, oh my God, that's it. That's my guidance. God is still with me. I can see this. Or you can simply ask, God, are you still with me? And wait for a sign, kind of like I did with my house. And just pay attention to the flow of events. And something will make it very clear to you that God is responding to you. No, this hasn't happened yet, but God is responding to you. So things are still in process. And when you get that moment in which you go, yeah, God is still with me, double down on your faith and look forward. I need my new buyer. I didn't know it was going to be my old buyer, but I knew my new buyer was coming. And you got to know it. The second suggestion is celebrate good arriving in other people's lives. Remember the day I lose my contract, Karen calls to say she got a buyer. You know, the human side of us says, why not me? Why did this happen to her, not me? You know, she got a buyer, mine fell apart. But jealousy of others' good actually drives our good further away. So you want to look at that and rejoice. Hey, that's my sign. This is my sign that my good is on its way. I'm seeing good arriving in other people's lives. It's got to be that much closer. In fact, what you want to do is you want to start looking around and rejoicing in any goodness you can find so that goodness can grow in your life. If you're going, wow, look at that person, they're prospering. Look at that person, they're prospering. Look at this. It's all around me. And then suddenly it's finally yours. That's the way it works. Third suggestion. What about when something arrives, but it's not enough? It's just a little tiny piece of what you need. When that happens, declare it is your promise of more to come. It's so often to say, that's not enough. That won't do it. So often, it's so easy to move into have not. Remember, Jesus said to he who has more will be given, to he who has not, even that which he has will be taken away. It's so easy when something comes but it's not enough to kind of push it away and just say, okay, well, fine, but this is not even close to enough. But it is your sign. It's the promise of more. So what do? You accept it with gratitude. I am so grateful for this little bit. That probably isn't enough to do what I need, but I am really grateful for this little bit that has come to me, because he who proves worthy over a little will be placed over much, remember? You prove worthy over your little by being grateful for it. Praise whatever comes to you, and know that's the sign of more to come. Number 4, when something good is offered, but withdrawn at the last minute. Has that ever happened to you? Most people have experienced that. You've got this wonderful thing you're looking forward to, and all of a sudden it just disappears. And you go, when something good is offered but withdrawn at the last minute, declare it is the promise of something greater to come. See, when my buyer went down, when it all crashed, I thought, there's probably I must have misread this guy. And there must be somebody else that's better for the property. There must be someone else who will do a better job with this property. There must be something greater. Oh, in the end, that something greater turned out to be the same guy. But it doesn't always happen that way. I remember being at Lindsay's house when her perfect job, she was out of 80, she was in the last 3. She went in for interviews, and she finally decided, she was probably the best qualified. And in the end, she was not chosen, and she was devastated. This is back in San Antonio. But I watched that girl. She got off that phone, and yeah, she was devastated for an hour or so. But 2 hours later, she's on the internet. She is putting her resume out. She's going to get a better job. Okay, that seemed to be my perfect job. Now, what's intriguing is, within a week or so, she landed an interview that went so easy she decided maybe she hadn't gotten the job, but she was hired immediately. In a situation that was even better. Not only that, but the girl who got the job, they'd all exchanged phone numbers when they were trying out, when they were interviewing. They'd made friends, and they kind of exchanged phone numbers. The girl called her and said, "You're probably going to get a call from the old place. But I got to tell you, when I got there, the work environment is so toxic, it is ridiculous. I can't take it. I'm just going to warn you. It may not be what you think it is." And she said, "I've already got my job. I'm very happy with it." And yes, she did get the call. But she stayed. This, Father, or something greater. And sometimes we look at it and we say, it could never be something greater. But it is. There is always something greater. There's always something waiting. Now, number 5. This one gets a little complicated, but it's worth sharing. If a large manifestation, something you're trying to create, is not manifesting in your life, choose a small thing of similar energy. It's in the same territory, but it's a little thing. Resolve the small issue, and generally the big project will begin to shift. Use the small issue resolved as your sign that the big issue is in process. If that happened, this can happen. To get you back on track with your faith, use your small thing. Now, what does that mean? One person described an example of it. Say, assume you have a big problem with your neighbor encroaching on your space, whether it's music, lights, angry all the time, or property dispute or whatever. You're having problems with your neighbor and it's big and it doesn't seem to be resolving itself. Choose a little problem with something that's kind of, what do I want to say, encroaching on your space, like a coworker is always borrowing your stapler. And it's only mildly irritating, but it is just a little, Why doesn't he have one of his own? Why is he always borrowing mine? And resolve it. Well, in this case, it's pretty simple. You go out, you buy your coworker a stapler, and you give it to him. Hey, everybody feels good, problem resolved. And generally, once you resolve the little one, the big one begins to shift. And things start changing. Interesting. And the last one, turn your attention from your problem to gratitude and all the goodness you already have in your life. Move into have instead of have not. Okay? So turn your attention from the problem to gratitude. Shift out of fear that things aren't going to work out into gratitude by concentrating on what you already have that you are grateful for. I'm grateful for this in my life. I'm grateful for that in my life. And in the end, that opens you up spiritually to your other need being met, being filled. Because you're grateful. You're not fearful. So, how do you wrap it up? I can assure you, God is still with you. But sometimes we lose the knowing of that. Sometimes we're not so sure. So when you find yourself in that spot, to get things back on track, ask for a sign that God's good is with you. Hezekiah is about to die, but he gets a sign. You're going to get well. It's going to be okay. Isn't instantly healed, but he gets a sign. And he's able to hold his faith that things are going forward. So when that sign reveals itself, confidently look forward to receiving all the good God has for me. Let's close our eyes. Let's spend a moment in meditation. Take a deep breath and sigh it out. And turn your attention inward. Move into that private place at the center of your being. That place where no one else is there but you. And as you're there in your private inner closet, realize you are not alone. You are not alone. Feel the presence of God within you, there with you. There within, far away from everyone in the outer, there's something listening to your every thought and your every desire. Feel the presence of God there with you. Coexisting in here with you, Lord. And as you feel that presence of God, Let your attention move towards gratitude for the wonderful things that life has brought you. The little things and the big ones. And you realize how loved you truly are. Look around you and praise the goodness. For goodness is everywhere around you. Are there things that disturb you? Certainly, but life is about what we place our attention on. If you look for the goodness, you will find it. So see the goodness. It is all around you. Know that God is your source. God uses the outer world, but the outer world is not our source. It's just the channels that God uses. God is my source and provides for me abundantly. Now ask for a sign that God is with you. It may come as a feeling. It may come as an event that will unfold as you move through this life. Maybe the words you find in a sign along the road, or something you feel when you look into the sky. If you expect to see that God is with you, you will see it. You will know it. And you will have the strength to go forward. Father, for your presence that is ever with me and travels with me through all that I go through. For your presence that prepares the way before me. I am truly grateful. Thank you, God. Amen. And if the usher will come forward, we'll prepare for our offering. I have to go through this in case you're new, but for those who are home, at the end of service, you'll go back to the home page and you hit the Donate Now button to use either a credit card or PayPal, or you pull off our address and mail us a check, or you can call the office and set up for regular offerings to come out if you want it to be easy. In any case, I want you at home to hold the idea of your offering in your hands, and we here in person, we're going to hold our offering in our hands, and we're going to affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Thank you, God. Amen. It's all yours, Brian.
Thank you, Reverend Bob. And here's a song called The Power of One. One song can spark a moment. One flower can wake a dream. One tree can start a forest. One bird can herald spring. One smile begins a friendship. One hardship lifts a soul. One star can guide a ship at sea. One word can form a goal. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what's true, can know what's true. One vote can change a nation. One sunbeam lights a room. One candle wipes out darkness. One laugh will conquer doom. One step must start a journey. One thought can start a prayer. One hope will raise our spirits. One touch can show you care. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what's true, can know what's true. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what's true, can know what's true. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what's true, can know what's true. Can know what's true. Can know what's true.
I'd say that fit in perfectly. You do really good. And thank you all for making him sound good. No, I'm not demeaning Brian. I'm just acknowledging those who assist him. Okay. Remember, wherever you are, whether you're in person or whether you're online, you are extremely important to us. We're so glad that you're part of us. Stay safe, but enjoy every single day. It's your adventure. Don't blow it off. It's your adventure, whatever it is you're doing. Each day has its own gift. Make sure you claim it. Next Sunday, Reverend Ronnie will be speaking on sizzling with zeal. This one ought to be fun. Let's all rise and radiate our prayer into the world as we join together in the prayer of protection. Oh, that's me. Got it. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week.